Hello again and welcome back to this two-part video series on how I'm making a map with Pix4d, Lightroom, and ArcGIS Pro. In the last video I left off, we had just finished collecting imagery, and in this video I'm going to talk about how I get those photos into Lightroom, stitch them together, and then eventually get them into ArcGIS Pro. Now, I'm on a different phone, so I don't have the images that I collected on my other phone that I actually use with my drone. But say hypothetically this is the window where it's displayed all the images you've collected. You can see there's two options up here. There's download images and upload images. If you had a Pix4d subscription, you would be able to upload these images to their cloud service, and that cloud service is going to do a number of things. It can create 2D grids or 3D images depending on your project and what you've collected. But for the purpose of this video, again, I'm using Lightroom. I'm trying to show everyone a relatively cheap option. The way I got those photos into Lightroom is my SD card on my drone also collected all the images. I have them saved on that SD card, so of course I just take that out, which I can put on my computer, and then of course upload the photos into Lightroom. Just for some context and to kind of show you that comparison, if you were considering going my route with Lightroom, you can see there is a Lightroom subscription for $120 a year. You might also consider this Creative Cloud Photography plan for pretty much the same price of $120, and you get Photoshop, Lightroom, Lightroom Classic. With either of these options, you're going to have the software you need to do the same thing I'm doing in this video. This option is relatively cheap when you compare to Pix4d Mapper, which is going to cost you somewhere around $300 a month. And really Pix4d has a number of software products they offer here. Some of them aren't too bad. I mean, 3D modeling for $40 a month, 2D fast mapping for emergency response, $32 a month. But again, still relatively expensive compared to just using Lightroom. Once you're in Lightroom, you can go to File, Import Photos and Videos. A window is going to come up. You'll be able to navigate to that file where those photos are stored, and then you can just select all the photos from that project and go ahead and import them. So once you've got the photos uploaded, you're just going to press Control All to highlight all of them, and then you're going to right click, go to Photo Merge, and select Panorama, and then it's going to start creating the Panorama Preview. This process can take quite a while, especially depending on how much processing power your computer has. To be honest, my computer is capable of doing this. I mean, this is 104 photographs, but it's going to take some time. It's not going to be as fast as like a cloud service through Pix4d. Those services are going to be a lot faster, a lot more efficient, but again, are going to cost more money. So eventually it is going to produce a preview of the panoramic that you've created, as you can see here. Processing time is pretty extensive. I didn't time it exactly, but I think it's probably at least 45 minutes just to create the preview. That's not the panoramic. My system, I have a Intel Core i5 processor and 8 gigs of memory to give you kind of a point of reference. That said, once it's done creating the preview, you'll see this window here. You can preview some different types of projection. I will caution you though, if I were to click cylindrical or perspective, it would take quite a while for it to once again process that different projection, maybe even another 30 or 45 minutes. And sometimes these projections aren't even available. But in this case, you can see I've got a pretty good stitched together aerial image with the spherical projection. I'm pretty happy with how this looks. Typically, I kind of prefer to just auto crop because it creates a cleaner, nice and square image. Maybe if there's some imagery right there in the peripheries that you want to maintain or you don't want to lose, then you could click this. And once again, I think if I were to click this now, it'd probably be some processing time that I'd rather not use. So I'm just gonna leave it auto cropped for now. So once you've got those selections, you go ahead and click merge, and it's actually going to create the panoramic, which again is going to be probably additional 45 minutes, maybe even an hour of processing time, at least for this specific example. Eventually the panoramic process will complete and you'll have a finished product in front of you like we do here. And as you can see, it is all these other individual images stitched into one continuous photograph. Next thing I'm going to do is export this to a folder of my choosing. You can go to File, Export, Specific Folder, click on the Choose button, and you'll be able to navigate to the folder you want to save it in. There's a number of changes you can make here, but I usually stick with the defaults for the most part, unless I want to like watermark something, or you can change the resolution of your photograph, but I'm going to leave that all to the defaults and click export. And now that I have this stitched together panoramic photograph and I know where it's saved in a file, I can go to ArcGIS Pro next and bring it into that software and start to make a map. Once I've got ArcGIS Pro open, I can go ahead and bring the photo into my project by navigating in the catalog pane, finding the picture, and dragging it into my project. Once I see it in my contents pane over here, I can right click and go to zoom to layer. That's going to bring me to that image. At this point, you'd want to georeference the photo, which you could do by using an aerial base map and using control points that align well with what's on your image and what's on the base map. If you need some information on georeferencing an image like this in ArcGIS Pro, check out in the description. I've got a link to another video tutorial where I describe how to do that. For this particular image, I photographed a oil well pad that's been added. As you can see, this imagery that I'm using as a base layer is outdated in that it's not including this area that's been cleared. But also you can see when I zoom in, you can see how much more detail is included in the imagery I've captured compared to this imagery next to me, which might have a resolution of maybe around 30 meters, whereas this stuff that I've collected myself might be closer to a centimeter in some cases, depending on what your above ground level was when you were collecting the imagery with the drone. You can see a number of advantages here, just again the amount of detail that you have and how that might be valuable to you and your business or a client that you're working for, whoever it is that you're collecting the imagery for. I could also do a number of things with this. I could delineate where this driveway is and where the pad is, and then I can measure the area. I could delineate out all the various land uses, whether it's this unforested area, and then this gravel pad, and then this forested area over here. Then I could proceed to create a layout and generate a finished polished product that I could provide to my client or my business or whoever it is I'm working for. So that is my process. That is how I collect aerial imagery with my drone, how I stitch it together in Adobe Lightroom, and finally bring it into ArcGIS Pro. If you thought this video was helpful, then don't forget to like, and if you enjoy our content, then maybe subscribe to the channel and stick around for more videos. Thanks for watching.